All right, y'all. So in this episode of If I Bought This House, we're going to look at a 2004 model single wide mobile home. So I want you to stay tuned for the bathrooms because I'm going to show you how to embrace and really lean into the eyesores. And yes, this bathroom, I knew it still existed, has the 1997 color palette of my childhood. Stay tuned for that. I knew someone out there still used this. So if you're new here, I'm Shannon. I'm a serial mover and buyer. I love everything DIY and project related. And my passion is to really show others how to embrace the ugly and make it new. Again, one project at a time, one room at a time. So let's jump into the listing. Okay, so in this episode, we're looking at a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, single wide mobile home. It's a 2004 model. It has 1,216 square feet. And it's on 7.5 acres. So a lot of times with these trailers, especially around here, you're buying the land too. So they're not everyone's cup of tea, but they do have some positive points. They're affordable for sure, lower cost pathway to home ownership, lower maintenance and energy costs, and you can actually flip a trailer. I've done it before, so we can talk about that later. Anyways, so let's start off with this living room. It's very open. I would for sure paint it, take the paint from the floor to the ceiling. So the carpets, if it was in the budget to replace the floors, absolutely 100% go for it. But this is something that you could just clean them up and live with it until you could upgrade. So you could either carry the wood throughout, like the same tone that's in the kitchen, and we'll see that in a minute. And I think it's in the bathrooms as well. So you could carry that same color throughout, or if you were going to completely change it, I would do a warmer, like a more neutral, maybe even a cooler tone of like with gray undertones or a deeper wood. I don't care for the orange, but in this house, we're going to look at how you can lean into certain eyesores and really, just work around it and design around it. So paint in this room. Let's see. Okay, let's go on. So this is the kitchen. And so it has a space like a little dining area. You could have a little breakfast nook or something, but also in that living room, it would be big enough to have, like if you had a longer dining room table, you could totally do that, or just keep your dining room table in here. So let's look at a different view of this lovely kitchen. Okay, there's that. So I'm going to do in the community tab an AI rendition of this kitchen. And so I really would paint, this could be a great space to paint the bottom cabinets a different color. And I would go, okay, let's look at this screenshot. Evergreen Fog is Sherwin-Williams color. It's a really nice green, and it would totally lean into those orangey tones on the floor. So you could do the bottom in the Evergreen Fog, and the tops, I would, the uppers, I would do Alabaster, my all-time favorite. And the walls, you could do an alpaca. Also, you could do a backsplash like the peel and stick we always talk about. You could totally do that. In these trailers, and we'll see as we go on, it's not drywall and it's not wallpaper, but it's almost like a combination of both of them. It's this board, and they always have this printed board that looks like wallpaper. I hate it, hate it, hate it. I don't know, I guess that was popular back in the day. I had one, and I think I've lived in a trailer before, and it had apples or something. It's like, who wants to live with apples forever? No one. So you can totally paint over all of this. You could add some nice hardware. You could live with the white appliances if they worked and that wasn't in your budget to replace it. You live with them for now, and when your budget allows, like a stainless steel would look great in here. And then a new light fixture. And that's just simple ways to update the space. Paint. It's not super expensive to do paint. You're not gutting the whole house. It's just going to take you time. You need to take your time doing the cabinets and the walls and everything so it looks really, finished. And so let's go on. And so this is another space, and I'm going to do a picture of this. I would actually leave all of this in alabaster. And with those glass, I know it looks kind of old-timey, but it will give it really like a cottagey charm. And I'll show you that picture in the community tab. So don't forget to head over to there after to see, what I would do, and then let me know what you would do. So this is a laundry room. I don't know, people probably aren't going in your laundry room a lot. So if you didn't really want to do anything in here, if this was like the last project on your bucket list, you could just paint it, leave it, whatever. So the bedroom, pretty open and spacious. And then we're going to get into this bathroom. And this is where I really want to spend a little bit of time to show you how you can work with these eyesores that are for sure in this house. And let's get into it, and I will show you. Bedroom again, bedroom. Okay, so this yellow bathtub. replacing a bathtub, it may be a big expense, and so that may not be something that would be immediately in your budget to do, but we can lean into this eyesore and use colors that would work with it to decorate around it. I think the model that I had is very similar to this trailer, and it had this bathtub, this corner bathtub. I think it's like, it must just be how they did all their models. Anyways, but mine happened to be like a cream, so it wasn't that bad. But in mine, they had like navy blue and apples everywhere. It was just terrible. So this wall, you know, that board we talked about, I'd paint it. I'd paint the vanity, like, you know, in that, sorry guys, I can't talk today, the Gianni countertop paint. You could do the marble. You could also use the cabinet paint and paint that. That would update it. Throughout this house, these trailers, these older model trailers, the newer ones are really nice. I don't know if you've ever looked at some newer model mobile homes, but they are really super nice. If you haven't, you should go Google it and look at some of them, get some ideas of what you could do. But all the doors are normally always this brown. I would paint them white, update it, even a black like iron ore would be great. But really paint and leaning into this yellow tub. And I'm going to do it. I just have to upload it, a rendition that I did, and I think I've got 3 options for wall color, so go over there and vote on your favorite. Look at what you can see this yellow bathtub. You can get a little bit closer view of this flowered, leafy, whatever that is, board. Vanity again, so I would paint that, redo it. The shower, like we always talk about, floor to ceiling shower curtain, it would just hide it. It doesn't look bad. It looks like it's probably white on the inside. But if you didn't have enough money to update the shower door, if you didn't like that and wanted to do it later, just hide it with the shower curtain. Easy peasy. So that's going to go in. Okay. All right, y'all. This second bathroom, drum roll please. This is the color palette of my childhood. That burgundy and the hunter green. I talked about this in the last video. I knew it was out here. I knew someone still had this lingering around. The shower curtain. Anyways, it just brings me back to like 1997. So same thing, just a little painting the countertops, the vanity, getting a more neutral shower curtain, floor to ceiling. I love this. Love seeing this because I knew it still existed. Okay. So this is another bedroom. The rest of the house is pretty much the same. I mean, that's what I would do. If you couldn't redo the floors and you wanted to keep the carpet perfect, fine, paint it, but I would paint it all the way up and totally, I wouldn't even do that trim white at the top. As you can see, it's brown. I would just take your paint color all the way up. And if you had money to add, you know, a nicer, thicker trim, great. If not, I would take it all the way up. That's what I would do. Okay, y'all, so let's recap this house. So all it really takes in this house, in my opinion, if you didn't have enough money to redo all the floors, is some simple budget-friendly paint. Paint makes such a difference. It'll just take you some time and effort. Take your time with it. But a lot of rooms just need some paint, maybe an updated fixture, something like that. You can do these things one room at a time, one project at a time. If you're in the market for a new house, you don't always have to go new construction. You can look at some of these more affordable options and then redo them as your budget allows. So some positive points about a trailer or a mobile home is it's affordable, lower maintenance and energy, and you can flip them. And yes, you can. Now, I grew up in South Florida, so maybe flipping trailers wouldn't be probably not a good market for it there, but here in South Arkansas, everyone and their grandmother owns a trailer. And so what I did with mine is I repainted all the walls. We redid the floors, updated the bathrooms just with paint. We didn't rip anything out, just made them look better than it was. And you're not going to make $1 million doing this on one trailer, obviously, but you're going to make more than what you paid for it. You can do that. So this house shows you can just lean into and embrace the eyesores. So most of us have regular schmegular homes, like we've talked about. A lot of our homes look like this, so people can relate, and you can just really update them with paint and small updates as you can. You don't have to do it all at one time. It can be good enough for now, being content with what you have on the way to where you're going, I always say. And so if you like this, subscribe and follow for more. Don't forget to head over to that community tab where I'll show you my renditions of how I would update these rooms. And let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next listing. Bye, y'all.